it's not easy being a man, and it's okay to accept that. Like, people will look at you and I and be like, two guys, why, like, probably haven't got that many problems, but we face problems.
All people face problems.
All people do, and I think with this, and the aim of this is to raise awareness on that.
Exactly.
Because it's all relative, right? And where I found the challenges was you have to work, you have to look after yourself, you have to focus on your health. Like, it could be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's okay to feel overwhelmed, and it's okay to feel like life is tough and it's not easy, and you've got to be viewed as, you've got to have your shit together, you've got to be earning a certain amount, you've got to be whatever the pressures that you put on yourself. It's hard. It's really hard. And I think why it's so important to raise awareness that kind of everyone's in the same boat, and like women too, and anyone, like, we all have our own set challenges and self-doubt, and that's it's about addressing that. But going back to it, why do you think there is such a stigma around men's mental health in general?
But before that, I would just want to quickly circle back to what you mentioned. I think it's very, like, if you're feeling overwhelmed and if you're feeling anxious, I think it's very important to flip this and think it's good to feel overwhelmed, because that means you're doing something, you're progressing, and you're not going to feel overwhelmed if you're not going to do something if you're just not progressing. I guess if you're just not doing anything in life, I feel like you don't really feel overwhelmed because you don't try your best or try better, I guess. So as long as, it's very important to flip that perspective and saying, okay, I feel overwhelmed, but then that's a good thing, because that means I'm moving forward.
Yeah, it's looking at the obstacles as a positive.
Exactly. There's opportunity at the end of the day, right?
100%. We're the same in that. Challenges. And I was watching this thing earlier this morning. It was like this thing with Jocko Willink. And I know he's quite like an extreme, but his mindset's incredible.
Who's that?
Jocko Willink.
Oh, yeah.
And
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. And he was saying that whenever he's given a problem, he always says the word good in response to it.
Good. Yeah, so that's a good video as well.
And it is a sick video, because I was looking at that and I was like, oh, there's so much power in that.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of calloused his mind in a way that instead of looking at a problem and thinking, fuck, why me? Why do I have to have a problem?
Yeah.
Because I'm a piece of shit, or all of this stuff. It's actually like, no, good, because there is going to be good from this. Yeah. And I think where mental health is such like a vast topic, and where I was researching this, it's so individual.
Exactly. It's very hard to draw the line between, again, being overwhelmed and not doing anything, but then actually looking at these opportunities as a good thing. I guess if God forbid, if your family member dies or anything, you can't. It's really hard to look at this situation as an opportunity to become stronger or better, right?
Sure, because at the time you're probably thinking, I can't even imagine, like, I haven't gone through that. So it's so undeniably so different for everyone. But I think with this podcast, it was like, okay, in order for me to kind of understand, I have to look at myself with the topic of mental health, and also talk to my friends and see, like, just generally look at the topic as a whole. But what I was more concerned with was, especially as like with men, is them not wanting to talk about it, or them shying away from it, and just not addressing it entirely. And that's where it becomes a problem, right? Because if you're a man that's struggling, is having a tough time, and is having a tough time about how to deal with it, this podcast, it's almost like listening to this, to having the tools, or just having the understanding that someone else is going through the same thing as you. It's not just you. And I know how individual that can feel. Like, when you're in a tough place, it feels so narrowed, and it feels so closed off. You feel it's almost like you're in a box and no one else understands but you. And it's understanding that everyone is like that. We just need to talk about it more. We just need to open the gate and relate to each other.
Exactly.
Like, we're quite tribal. We're quite like, we're animals. Like, we find comfort in communication. We're communicative beings. And when faced with adversities or problems or troubles,
By the way, there's a firework day today, so if you hear any background noise,
It's popping
apologies
off.
for that.
Yeah, it's literally 5th of July.
It's been popping every 5 minutes, so we can't just stop every 5 minutes and then we do that.
We chose a great day to do this podcast, but
Yeah, not
I
the
mean,
best, not the
like
best.
no,
day, yeah.
but like I had no idea it was even.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Not until yesterday.
till literally sitting down here hearing it, I was like, oh shit, it's actually
Yeah.
Guy Fawkes. But jumping to the question, why do we think there is a stigma around men's mental health?
Yes. So I guess it's we covered a lot of it.